that gives you the total cost related to the months of your gym membership. So, important things, the $33 per month, we know there's an membership fee, we don't know exactly what that is. We know we paid a total of $208 after 6 months. So, if we were to start setting this equation up, we know that we need some variable to represent the amount, so we call that x, and whatever you want. And then usually we have a variable to represent the total, so that y. But in the second part of this equation, or in this word problem, it gives us the total and the number of months. So it gives us our total as 228. We know however many months there are, we're going to multiply that by 33 because of the number. What we don't know is the initial membership fee, so we can set that as some additional variable. We call that Z. And that's going to represent the initial membership fee. So sometimes your equation won't be like you have all the parts. Sometimes you have to find the missing part and they give you other parts of the information. So here we can solve this for Z to find the actual equation and then go back and find B. Subtract 198 on both sides. Get 30. So I can say that no matter what, they're going to get a fee of $30. Then they're going to pay $33 for each month that they're in this membership. So for part A, to rearrange our equation or to actually write our equation, we would have just y equals whatever our total cost will be, 33 times our x, the number of months, and then now we know our z to be 30, so we put plus 30. Now we have our equation and can use that equation to find the total cost after 9 months for part B. I have run out of space. Now we're looking for our y value when x is 9. So we put 9 in for x and figure out what that is. 15 out of 30. Make sure whatever the units is, y is total cost, so units would be dollars. Remember for like number 5, if you're given multiple sets of data, you can either find your slope and then use your point slope formula to find your y-intercept, or go back and use linear regression, and it'll give you that equation to use. For parallel and perpendicular lines, remember that parallel lines have the same slope, perpendicular lines have negative reciprocal. One is positive, one is negative, but you take the fraction or whatever and flip it. And then linear regression, you guys will be able to use your cheat sheet as long as there's nothing written on it. If there is, then I'll have you put that in and I'll give you another one. But I will not be answering any how do I do this in the calculator questions. So if you have questions on that, ask that now. Yes, should I? Any other last minute questions? Delta Math Khan Academy questions we want to go through? Problems from the notes we want to go through?
All these days.
The word problems?
Yeah.
They are all very similar to this last week, front and back. Writing them and using it to solve. No. Say that again. Are you talking about on this one that we did?
Yeah.
This one entire linear regression. Randomly put my calculator. So if you're all done, probably grab your calculator. I'm gonna reset my calculator just so anything that was already in there is now gone. Second plus 7 was 6. I didn't hit any of those because I was drawing. Reset your calculator. Second plus 712. I'm literally going to pick random points that I think of in my head. Go into stat. Go into edit. You can pick the same numbers I do. Pick random numbers. It does not matter. You can put 2 sets of data, 3 sets of data, as long as you have more than one, it doesn't matter. Stat, edit. And then I just put in random numbers. After you have your data in, go back to stat, scroll over to calculate. Either scroll down to number 4 or just hit number 4. Go down to stored regression equation. Make sure it's highlighted. Hit alpha trace. And then hit enter for whichever one you want to store in. And then enter 2 more times. Random number that took this morning was not a nice number. Whatever you get here would be your slope and my intercept. Use that, write that in your equation for whatever you get. If you need to find certain points for that, so if it gives you a y value and you need to find an x value, you can go to your table, not the one you just put numbers into, but this table, second graph. And it'll give you all your x and y values for the entire line. If you're looking for a specific x value, you can also go here, but it may be easier, depending on what the number is, just store the number. So if I go back to my home screen, second mode takes you back home. Whatever your x value is, you get, store it, the STO above the on, as your variable, and hit enter. Once it's stored, you can go back and grab your equation out from Alpha Trace. Wherever you stored it, grab that equation and hit enter. And it will solve your equation with all of its decimals with whatever x value you put in. What other questions do you? Yeah, so when you do the calculate part, this is your line of best fit. Y equals, in my case, it'd be 1x or just x minus 3. Other questions? Go over which part? So put your information, go into stat, go into edit, put your data there, go back to stat, and scroll over to calculate, go to number 4, scroll down to store regression equation, hit alpha trace, whatever equation you want again, hit enter 2 more times. So for the parallel perpendicular lines, remember what I told you earlier, as well as how to write an equation that's parallel or perpendicular when given another. Linear regression, know how to do it in your calculator completely. And then your word problems, know how to set it up and solve. Okay. When we come back from lunch,